Hello and Namaste. Today under Rediscovery of Vidhan Saudha, we will be briefing you about CMO. Itself means Chief Minister's Office, which consists of top civil and state service officer who are backed by merit and experience in administrative affairs of the state. These officers are placed at multiple levels. The supporting staff reports directly to the Honorable Chief Minister. Currently, senior most officer is Shri Manjunath Prasad, is the Principal Secretary. Earlier, this post was called as Secretary to the Chief. The first Principal Secretary of the Karnataka state was H.M. Srinivasaya from the year 1948 to 1951, who served under first Chief Minister Shri K.C. Reddy. Presently, Manjunath Prasad is the 35th officer as in acting to the Principal Secretary to the 30th Chief Minister Shri Basavaraj Bommai-ji. Manjunath Prasad's office is located at Vidhan Saudha, 3rd floor, facing Kengal Gate, the western side. CMOs provide purely secretarial assistance to the CM, headed by the Principal Secretary. He is assisted by a batch of top civil and state officers to perform huge tasks under various official designations like Secretary to CM, Joint Secretary, Private Secretary, OSD to CM, ex-Joint Secretary to CM and Special Officer. The entire spectrum of government affairs and departments comes under their wing, which is allocated by Honorable Chief Minister with executive orders. Only exception is the Principal Secretary to the CM has the right to vote, that is voting powers, to call for files assigned to any officer for orders of CM. All the officers who work under him go by his guidance and supervision. Entire Chief Minister's office is located in Vidhan Saudha, the 2nd and the 3rd floor. The CMO coordinates with all the ministers in the state cabinet. Another important factor is only policy issues which is concerned with the minister should be submitted to the CM for orders and approval. CM has always been the minister in charge for public grievances, pension, etc. Regarding legislative work is also handled by the appointed officer. Let's briefly know about Mr. Manjunath. As soon as the 29 ministers were inducted into the cabinet, government effected a minor reshuffle of seniors officers. So then Manjunath Prasad, who was serving as a BBMP commissioner, had an hands-on experience in Bangalore development and revenue matters. So he was appointed as a Principal Secretary after getting a gold medal in engineering at IIT New Delhi. He eyed on civil service and got selected in the year 1994. He served as an assistant magistrate and a collector at West Bengal and shifted himself to the Karnataka cadre as CEO, Raichur Jilla Panchayat. Occupied several posts such as DC of Mandya, Commissioner Agricultural, Deputy Commissioner Davangere, Commissioner of Social Welfare Department and Employment Training Center. He was also the MD of KSRTC, Secretary to the Government Social Welfare Department and Agricultural Department, BPMP Commissioner, Principal Secretary, Revenue Department, and now he occupies a very vital post as Principal Secretary to CM based on his rich administrative experience and the master strategist in development of Bangalore city. Another person important, P.A. Gopal, the Joint Secretary to the CMO. He was born to Anant Ramashetty and Kantamma at Manchinabele, Chikbalapur district, and his primary education and secondary was held in Sai Baba groups of institutions and did law, appeared for KAS, got cleared. By sheer inspiration of M.R. Srinivas Murthy, a retired senior IAS officer. He joined the government service in Madhugiri and rise to be the Joint Secretary in the CMO office. He did many reforms during his 30 years of his service. He was the most sought officer by public citizens because he used to serve them his best. He was like a Robin Hood to the Vidhan Saudha. Today, let us visit the chamber of Principal Secretary to CM and the Joint Secretary to the CMO. Over to Mr. Gnaneshekar, who will be explaining you in details about the officers. This is done under the Rediscovery of Vidhan Soudha, initiated by myself, Vasanta Kavita, the KCR Foundation, and inputs by Kavita, editor of Rajya Dharma, and the news presented explanation by Mr. Gnaneshekar. Over to Mr. Gnaneshekar. Namaste.